Okay.
All right, if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Will Anderson,
I, Will Anderson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the state of Oregon,
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the state of Oregon,
the charter and ordinances of the city of Milwaukie,
the charter and ordinances of the city of Milwaukie,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties
of city councilor of the city of Milwaukie
of city councilor of the city of Milwaukie
in the county of Clackamas,
in the county of Clackamas,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Welcome. We're glad to have you. We have some signatures there for you.
Thank you.
We have just had our swearing in. And we have to get through our regular session. All right. Everyone's here. Okay. I call the 2417th meeting of the Milwaukie City Council to order. This meeting is being held in person at City Hall and by video conference. The public may participate in this meeting by coming to City Hall or joining the Zoom webinar. The meeting is being broadcast live on the city's YouTube channel and Comcast Cable Channel 30 within city limits. There will be opportunities for the public to speak during this meeting. If you would like to address council, you may come to City Hall or participate via Zoom. If you are interested in speaking, please let staff know by filling out a yellow comment card for those at City Hall or emailing ocr@milwaukieoregon.gov for those on Zoom. When it is time to take public comments, staff will monitor the comment cards, email inbox, and Zoom participant list and chat. We will take comments in the order they are received and seen. Comments may be emailed to ocr@milwaukieoregon.gov. We ask that all Zoom participants who intend to speak label their Zoom username and show their first and last names for the record. Spanish translation services are available upon request. The public is asked to request translation and other meeting accessibility services at least 48 hours before the meeting. For more information, contact the city recorder at 503-786-7502. Servicios de traducción en español está disponible cuando sea solicitado. Se pide al público que solicite servicios de traducción y otros servicios de accesibilidad por lo menos 48 horas antes de la reunión. Para obtener más información, llama al secretario de la ciudad a 503-786-7502. Translation services are also available in other languages. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The city of Milwaukie respectfully acknowledges that our community is located on the ancestral homeland of the Clackamas people. In 1855, the surviving members of the Clackamas signed the Willamette Valley Treaty, also known as the Kalapuya, etc. Treaty, with the federal government in good faith. We offer our respect and gratitude to the indigenous people of this land. And then for today's announcements. Come out to the Minthorn Spring Natural Area. Oh, it looks different than usual. Okay. On Saturday, January 11th from 9:30 a.m. to noon for for Wetland Conservancy Restoration event. This is a free, family-friendly event, and tools, gloves, and snacks will be provided. Please note that Monday, January 20th, all city offices and the Leading Library will be closed in observance of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Stop by and visit with City Manager Emma Sagor at the next City Manager Open Door session, which is scheduled for Thursday, January 24th from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. here at City Hall. Help clean up a treasured natural area near Milwaukie on Saturday, February 1st at Tideman Johnson Park. Join the Friends of Tideman Johnson and the Johnson Creek Watershed Council for a morning of habitat enhancement. Learn more and register for this event at Johnson Creek Watershed Council's website. The deadline to submit a nominee for the 2024 Volunteer of the Year Award is February 12th. Learn more and submit a name online at engage.milwaukeeoregon.gov. And finally, actually not finally, I have a couple more. The city needs planning commissioners. If you are interested in land use, zoning, historical resources, and all things planning, apply today. Visit onboard.milwaukeeoregon.gov to learn more and apply. A couple of other events I wanted to make sure to mention is there are actually 2 work parties on Elk Rock Island this month on the 18th and the 25th. The 25th is the day that the North Clackamas Watersheds Council brings hundreds of Christmas trees that people have turned in that get placed in the Willamette River to be fish habitat. So that's kind of a cool thing. And you can find information on both of those work parties on the Milwaukie Parks Foundation Facebook page or the North Clackamas Watersheds Council page as well. The other thing I want to mention, our library director is here next Wednesday night. The library, in partnership with Love One, is showing a documentary called No Place to Grow Old. I've looked at the previews of it on YouTube, and it's a pretty compelling documentary about the rise in elder homelessness in our community. It was shot here in the Portland area, although that's an issue nationwide. So I just wanted people to know about that. That'll be shown at 6 p.m. Anyway, Wednesday night, look on the library's page or on the city's website, the calendar on the city website. It's about a 45, 50-minute film followed by a panel discussion. So I think that'll be a really good event.
Bring tissues.
Bring tissues? Yeah. Any other announcements anyone has?
Well, I just wanted to say a belated Happy New Year. I know a lot of people were out at Bing in the New Year on New Year's Eve, and the cherry dropped without issue, in sync with the clock this time, and it was just great. So thanks to all of the community partners and volunteers who made that event possible, and hopefully everybody had a good time.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. I agree. Yeah, it's a new year. We have new counselors, and I guess I should have opened with that. Yeah, yeah.
Just to glom on to what Rebecca was talking about, we kind of have this cluster of events that happen in December, and I know that the Arts Council and others were heavily involved in the Bing drop, but the city staff was too, and the city staff was also heavily involved in the winter solstice and the Christmas tree lighting and umbrella parade. We have a busy December, and I know that there's a lot of extracurricular activity for the city staff, and it's always so much fun. Yeah.
Agreed. Thank you. All right, haiku. So Jennifer Murphy isn't here tonight, but she has been here several meetings, and she was She was somewhat distraught when she heard that there were not any more haiku coming in, so she has single-handedly generated enough haiku for the next quarter anyway. So this one she wrote, but she also reached out to a couple of teachers at the high school who have got some haiku written by students that we'll be doing in February and March. So here's Jennifer's. Bike, run, water ski. Kind, inclusive, plant a tree. We are Milwaukie. I love that one. Nice job, Jennifer. I am taking submissions, so please, we do have enough haiku to get us through the first quarter of the year, but you can send yours to my email address as shown there and get in the queue to have your haiku read at a city council meeting. Okay, and with that, we have Principal Kellogg here to introduce the outstanding student for January.
Happy New Year. And I'm so excited to always come here every month to bring another student before you guys. And so this today we're bringing forward Vanessa. Vanessa, just like all of our students that we bring forward, Vanessa has a 3.65 GPA. And with all the activities, working towards the honors diploma, has earned her State of Oregon Biliteracy seal. And is part of National Honor Society and as an ECMC scholar, taking the AP classes with AP World History, Government, Math and Society, AP Biology, and AP Psychology. And so a lot of the electives and the pieces about that, not only earning that seal of biliteracy, also taking in Spanish, taking French 1, 2, and 3, is also on the yearbook staff, is taking over at Saban Schellenberg, has taken the survey of youth and family, wants to become a teacher for elementary, and has done a summer internship program for an elementary program within our district. And then also will graduate with 34 credits. You need 24 to graduate, and she will graduate with 34. So really working and putting the effort out there. I want to talk about some of the other things that Vanessa is involved in, with volleyball for 4 years, track and field for a year, Ascension, which is our student community around culture for our Latino families and students and community at our school. Has been in tennis for 2 years, swimming for a year, and has done outdoor school as a counselor for 3 years. And so very active, involved in the community. And I wanted to read just a couple of comments. Everyone who meets and knows Vanessa loves Vanessa. And so Selena Vila, one of our teachers at school, said Vanessa is a fantastic student that shines just as bright as her smile. She bravely tries new things every year, whether it be through athletics, academics, or community work, and she confidently gives her 100%. And her final year of high school, Vanessa is still leaving her mark and working hard to leave Milwaukie High School better than when she came in. And I see that all the time. We did the, what was it that we had on the Saturday with the craft kind of fair? They're volunteering and helping out and making sure things were running smoothly for that event, as well as National Honor Society when they're doing lots of kind of volunteer work around the community and school. And then Valentina wrote that Vanessa is a wonderful human that radiates leadership and dedication. She has served our community in such a powerful and impactful way. I'm truly confident that she will be an extraordinary educator as she currently is contributing to our school community and culture in a meaningful way. I could have not been more proud to be part of her journey here at Milwaukie High School, and hopefully we will have her back and at MHS working her magic as a teacher in the future. And so even though she doesn't have an interest right now in high school, I'm hoping we can change that. But, so that was I was like, let's put high school, even though I know that she wants to do elementary, but you never know. So if you would like to talk a little bit more about your internship that you did in the summer for elementary, that would be great too.
Hello, Happy New Year. What I really did in my internship, I really got to enjoy getting to know new students. I particularly worked with kindergarten and first grade because those were two grades I was really interested in. Throughout the internship, I got to meet new students. I got to meet teachers now that I still see them through the practicum program. And it's nice getting to see everyone in the community together because I've known them from the summer. And I feel like I got an amazing experience off of it because not only do I have skills, but I got to meet amazing people throughout that internship.
It's great to have you here, Vanessa. And as always, you're a student with amazing balance of great academics, athletics, as well as a lot of, community involvement and community engagement. It's great to see. And you seem like you would make a great teacher. Where have you decided where you're going to school to study for your teaching?
Yes, I've officially committed to Portland State. Yeah, as of this week.
Yeah. Oh, great. Well, congratulations. We'll each kind of take a turn to chatting with you for a minute, but I guess I wanted to ask you, we see a lot of students with, who do different things in the high school, but you're the first one I recall seeing who called out outdoor school and being a counselor at outdoor school. And I have to say, I didn't grow up in Oregon. I didn't have an outdoor school, but I think that's one of the amazing things that Oregon offers. And I just wondered if you had any favorite story or favorite memory from outdoor school that you'd like to share with us.
I feel like going to outdoor school makes it even more special to me because I was a sixth grader going to outdoor school. So being a counselor there, these past 3 years has been I don't know, it brought me nostalgia knowing that I feel those kids and I know what they're going through and stuff. So it's nice just to get to know kids their age. When I went there, I got a group of boys, which I really didn't want, but I was okay with.
Yeah.
But they were hard to work with. I'm not going to lie to you. But those boys are the sweetest boys I've ever met.
Yeah.
They made my week. So, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Well, thank you. This way? Okay. Council President? Oh, Councilor Anderson.
I'm upset the mayor took my outdoor school question. I grew up doing outdoor school. I loved it. I know at my camp we had camp names. Do you have a camp name from your?
Yeah, I do. I went by Counselor Rosetta. Yeah, my first year I went as Bambi, but I wasn't a fan
What
of
happened
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it, so I decided to change it.
Okay. Vanessa, Rosetta, you've got a bright future ahead of you. Congrats.
What was your camp name, Councilor Anderson?
Apple Fairy, and there's a funny story behind it. It's a good one. We don't have time.
Guys, Vanessa, congratulations on your many, many accomplishments here. I would ask you to introduce these folks that you brought with you.
Of course, I'm glad to. So on to my left, I have a little sister. She is a freshman at Milwaukie High School as well, so I get to see her around. And then next to her is my father. He's done everything for my family. He means a lot. And then onto my right is my partner. I think you guys know who he is. Yeah, pretty much. We've been through everything together, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's great. You've achieved a lot, but I'm sure having a strong supporting cast always makes it that much more fun. Yeah, so well done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Counselor?
Vanessa, first of all, great school choice. PSU is amazing. You're going to have a great time there. It's a good school. The other thing is, we need more of you, right? And I think that that's going to be accomplished. When I heard you want to be a teacher, I'm like, well, there you go, right? She can get the pipeline going of bright young minds coming through our society because we sure do need it. I'm just so impressed with what you've done and to have your family there behind you and sir, your father, I don't have to say how much you're doing. I got 2 little ones, so I just started, and it's a lot. So I just appreciate you for what you've done and everything that you've done to set your mind and your heart on something that you want to do and never let the doubters tell you otherwise. So proud.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Vanessa. It's nice to meet you. I also wanted to be a teacher when I was in high school, and I thought that was going to be my path. So I guess, I'm kind of wondering, there's a spark in that decision, and I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about why you want to be a teacher and what you hope to accomplish.
At first, when I first entered to high school, I had no clue what I wanted to do, honestly. But they offer a saving program, and there's like a variety of programs there. So there was a baby class that you got to take. So there's like a couple steps you have to take in order to get to higher classes. And I really enjoyed that class. And then the year after that, I took like a preschool class. And then I really enjoyed it. I just really enjoyed that. I got to like meet new students and knowing that I could make a difference in their lives, whether it's not like the biggest difference, but it's just amazing. I don't know, they would just make my day. Even on my hardest days, they would just make my day. But the reason I really want to be a teacher is I just want to make a difference in people's lives because, growing up when I had teachers, like they would criticize me for like mental conditions that I have, and I want to be that one teacher that like is always there for them and not ever judge them based off their skin or any type of disability that they may have or anything, and I hope to make that difference.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Vanessa. And thank you, Principal Kellogg, for bringing her in. We have a proclamation, which I will read and then give you a copy of. What did I do with it? Well, no. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, there's an envelope.
That's what I took. I probably actually. I don't know what else is in there.
Okay. Craziness. Okay. Well, Vanessa, the city of Milwaukie is proud to recognize for outstanding student achievement in academics, civic engagement, and extracurricular activities at Milwaukie High School, Vanessa Valdivinos Rosas. Let it be known to all that on this 7th day of January 2025, the City Council of the City of Milwaukie, a municipal corporation in the county of Clackamas in the state of Oregon, recognized this student as an excellent example of the bright future of this community and nation. So thank you.
It was right here. That's why I was like, is that mine? I thought you wrote me a letter.
You thought what?
I thought you wrote me a letter. I was like, that's so nice of you. Company with those letters.
Okay. Community comments. This is the part of the agenda during which council will hear community member comments regarding city business that is not already on the agenda. Before we begin, is there follow-up from the December 19th comments, Ms. Sager?
Mayor, there's no follow-up from December 19th. I just want to note that there have been 3 comments received in writing before this meeting. One from Elvis Clark about goal setting, another from Wilda Parks during our work session today, also about goals. And then a letter today from Providence, Milwaukie, giving us an update on the expected nurses strike beginning this Friday.
Okay. Thank you. We are going to get a public comment? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with the script then while he fills out his yellow comment card. For those in person who wish to speak, please submit a yellow comment card found on the table near the door. If you are on Zoom, please use the raise hand reaction to alert staff that you wish to speak, and when instructed to begin, click the microphone option to unmute yourself. If you are calling in through Zoom and would like to make a comment, dial *9 to raise your hand. You may also submit a comment via email to ocr@milwaukeeoregon.gov. Before you make your comments, please state your name and city of residence for the record. If you would like the city to follow up with you, please submit your contact information. As council has other business items on the agenda, and we actually have a very short meeting tonight because of the town hall, we are limiting speakers to 3 minutes each. Because information provided during community comments may be new, this is not the time for discussion, but the city manager will respond at the next council meeting to those comments that require follow-up. So I have Rod Smith.
Thank you. This will become apparent why. A modest proposal for the Milwaukee's affordable housing crisis. An opening. The problem statement. Esteemed members of the City Council, in an era where housing affordability has become a whimsical dream rather than a basic necessity, it is imperative that we take a bold and initiative action. With Milwaukee's 16 to 18 beautiful parks are spread across our beloved city, I propose we fully embrace the market forces that have brought us to this point. The proposal. Let us transform Milwaukie into an ultimate reflection of what the market will bear, something we hear all the time when we're looking for affordable housing. Let us remove all permanent housing, those pesky remnants of an outdated past, and replace them with a unified tent city. A sprawling canopy and nylon top and canvas stretching from Elk Rock all the way to the North Clackamas Park. Why should we cling to an antiquated ideas of walls and roofs when tents offer such flexibility? They are mobile, eco-friendly, and require no permanent or long drawn-out inspections. Surely this aligns with the future of affordable living. A pause. The economic and aesthetic harmony. Housing market freedom. With the traditional homes abolished, demand will truly meet supply. Because there won't be any. The market will no longer need to bear the burden of affordability. Environmental synergy. Parks and tent homes blend seamlessly. Picture this. Children playing, adults thriving, and tourists marveling as our visionary community model. Civic pride. Milwaukie would lead the nation as the first all-park city, a utopia free of property taxes, mortgages, and zoning disputes. Some might argue this proposal lacks humanity or long-term vision. To them I say, what would be more humane than entrusting that everyone has the same opportunity to experience the great outdoors year-round? And what would it be more visionary than redefining housing in a way the market can fully support? In conclusion, the plan honors the ethos of what the market will bear. If homes are too expensive, perhaps we simply don't need them anymore. Instead, we embrace tents, parks, and our robust spirit of resilience that defines Milwaukie. But as such forward-thinking pragmatism does not appeal to you, if you find the proposal too radical, then perhaps we borrow for Mr. Jonathan Swift himself, we eat the poor. After all, the simplest solution are often the most effective, and history has never been shy about serving irony on a table. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Mr. Stoffer, is there anybody online wishing to speak? No. Okay. All right. So then we can move on to the consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda includes minutes of the City Council November 19th, 2024 work session, November 19th, 2024 regular session, December 3rd, 2024 work session, and December 3rd, 2024 regular session. A resolution establishing the 2025 council meeting schedule, a resolution designating the 2025 papers of record, a resolution approving the project goals for the Sparrow site, and a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with Clackamas River Water for a utility billing extension. Does any council member wish to remove a consent agenda item? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Is this side is the moving side?
Me? I move to approve consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None heard. The consent agenda is approved unanimously. Do we have any council reports that anyone wants to give? Do recognize that you're cutting into our, our brief break before the town hall, but anyway, looked like Councilor Anderson was going to say something, no?
I was going to say, don't do it, Adam.
Oh,
I will do it. I do have one.
okay.
It's not really a council report, but I just want to, and maybe Emma was going to mention this too, but I just wanted to say in regards to the email that was sent out, we were successful in getting about $75,000 in ARPA funds over to the Wichita Center for their rental assistance and utility assistance program, which they were in dire need of because they had already pretty much ran out of their funds by about September, October of this year. So thank you, Emma, and thank you, staff, for doing that and getting that done because it was on a tight window. So we got it done. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you for bringing it forward. That was great.
Yeah, I was going to say, no thanks needed to me. That was Councilor Khosroabadi, Joseph, and the contracts team. So amazing.
Okay. Emma?
I had one thing, we've talked a little bit about going to visit OLCC, the OLCC campus for a tour. They are happy to host us. Wednesdays are the best days for them. Wednesdays kind of midday. So I just the mayor and I wanted to gauge if that's something council would be interested in doing, or if we'll just do it as kind of a smaller group tour. But if the full group or more than a quorum wants to come, we can publicly notice it as a special tour. This would be just a chance to see the space, see the facility. You know, it's going to be vacated in the next couple of years. So wanted to bring that as a question.
Yeah. I didn't know whether whether people wanted to go or not. So that was just the question is if more than one other person wants to go, then we'll notice it and anybody who wants to can come.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'd like to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Great,
Sounds like
we'll
we need
notice
to
it.
Notice it. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for keeping that on there because I completely forgot. Okay, any last items before we adjourn? I guess I have probably something to read about yes. After the regular session at 6 p.m., the council will hold a goal-setting town hall. The public is invited to come to City Hall to watch and participate in the town hall or submit comments through the Engage Milwaukie goal-setting webpage. Because of the interactive format of the town hall will not be broadcast or recorded. I should note that the city manager is going to make some opening remarks at 6 o'clock, and then it will be an exercise where people go around to different tables. So there will be a few centralized remarks at the beginning, but mostly it is a mill around and talk to people and read about the potential goals. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn our regular session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None heard. We are adjourned.
Everyone. It's great to see you here. And if anyone's tuning in online, thanks for joining us at our goal setting town hall. We're calling it a town hall, but it's also probably more accurately called an open house. So I really appreciate everyone being here for the opening preamble, and I hope we have more folks come down to join us over the next couple hours to discuss potential goals City Council may adopt for the next 3 years. I'm Emma Sagor, I'm the city manager, and I'm just gonna kick us off tonight saying a little bit about why we're here and what goals are before I release you to talk to the much more interesting folks in the room about what some of these priorities might be for the years to come. So our plan for tonight, as I said, I'm gonna talk a little bit about what city council goals are and why we set them. This isn't a new thing for Milwaukee. Milwaukee's set council goals for several years, but I'll talk a little bit about the purpose they play in city government and city functions. I'm going to preview 10 goal ideas that City Council has brainstormed so far, and that's really how our night tonight is structured, is around these 10 different ideas that City Council is contemplating adopting for 2023 to 2025. Or sorry, I'm going back in time, 2025 to 2027. Now, just because there are 10 ideas on the table does not mean if you have a brilliant idea that you don't see represented here, we want to hear that as well. And there's going to be an opportunity for you to share that with folks tonight too. I'll talk a little bit about how tonight is going to run. We also have an online engagement opportunity, so we'll make sure you know how to access that and how to help your neighbors and your friends take that, because we're really looking to get as much input as possible. And I'll talk a little bit about where we go after this public input opportunity to actually select and solidify these goals. So why do councils set goals? And again, this is not a strange, weird Milwaukee thing. If you look around the Portland region, most councils, especially in council manager forms of government, are setting goals to help do this, to help focus their policymaking efforts and prioritize city resources. I have yet to find the secret money tree. I'm looking for it hard, but I don't think it exists. And so that means we have finite resources in terms of budget and staff capacity. And that means I want to make sure that, you know, beyond the essential services that we as government are statutorily required to provide, what else is important to the city and to the community that we should be doing? I can't do everything, so what should we be focusing on? And what should council, the folks you have elected to represent you, what do you want them focusing on and developing policy around during the time that they are serving you? Goals also correspond to timely needs and priorities in the community. Milwaukee, one of the things that drew me here is that you guys do a great job looking to the future. I think that the 2040 vision and the visioning process that the community went through was a great example of how you've got that 20-year long game of where you want to go. But 20 years is a long time. And I think that what we know, I mean, especially looking back over the last, 4 or 5 years with the pandemic, is sometimes there's things that come up that are really timely, prescient, important needs that we need to address right now, and you'd like your government mobilized to do. So the goals are meant to be on a shorter time frame, really allowing us to respond to those timely needs and community priorities. Every city does goals a little bit differently. One thing council and I did a few months ago was look around at the other cities. How many goals are they adopting? What do their goals look like? How are they reporting on them? And I want to share a little bit about the parameters that your council has decided to set for their goals. The first is that they want to adopt up to 3 goals. Now that's a small number, and other cities transparently do adopt more. But I think what's really helpful about Milwaukee City Council is they want to be focused and they want to achieve action. And the way they would like to do that is by really focusing in on a short number of goals so that they can really accomplish things in these next 3 years. So they're going to adopt up to 3 goals. They're ranging from a 1 to 3 year implementation timeframe. I'll talk a little bit about why that might be a range in a second. It involves lining it up with our budget process. Council would really like our goals to be specific, realistic, and actionable. We've learned a lot from previous goal setting efforts, and we've accomplished a lot in those times, but I think we also have an opportunity to be even more results driven and results oriented through this goal setting process. Part of that is being really clear about how we're going to measure success and tell the story of the work the city is doing. So we're not going to wait till the end to come up with those performance measures. We're going to do that as part of this process. And then finally, you might be wondering, it's all about prioritizing resources. What's the budget for these goals? I don't have a super crystal clear answer for you because what we're going to do is adopt the goals and then go back and look at our budget, look at our work plans, and see what we might need to reprioritize in order to make progress here. And one thing, I'm sorry that the captions are kind of blocking my timeline, but I'll try to explain it in better detail. One thing we recognized when we reflected back on previous goals is that we were adopting goals on a off cycle from how we adopt the city's budget. And that leads to some challenges when you've adopted a budget based on sort of older priorities, but then you have a new set of priorities and your budget might not reflect that. So here's how we're trying to get back on track and better align our goal timeline with our budget timeline. We're going to adopt goals in early 2025 by next month. And as I said, those will have between a 1 to 3 year implementation timeframe. There may be some goals that come out of this that council says, you know what, in a year, we think we can really get that done. But they might say, we think we need 3 years to really make progress there. We're leaving that a little open to see what we hear from the community and what makes sense in terms of action planning. Middle of 2026 is when we will adopt the next city budget. Milwaukie adopts a 2-year, it's called a biennial budget. So another reason for this potentially 3-year time frame is that means these goals will inform that budget and carry through that budget, which really helps from the staff planning standpoint. We know what the North Stars are that we're shooting for when we make this next budget. And then new goals would be adopted at the beginning of 2028. You might be wondering what our current goals are, or what our goals have been for the last 2 years. So for the last 2 years, City Council has been focusing on equity, justice, and inclusion. Some accomplishments we've undertaken in there is creating a position within the city that is our equity and inclusion coordinator. We stood up an equity steering committee of community members who help advise our work and our pursuit of equity, justice, and inclusion. We did an assessment of the city's services and where we need to take action to reduce disparities, and we're starting to implement all that work. So we've really tried to take that, which was a goal, and say it's still a priority, it's now a value of everything we do at the city. So even though we might adopt a new goal that doesn't speak to equity, equity is now embedded in everything that we do. Very similarly with climate change mitigation and resilience, which has actually been a goal for longer than the last 2 years, a lot of action has been taken under council's leadership with this goal. We adopted a climate action plan, we implemented a tree code, we've done a significant expansion of electrification, electrical infrastructure in the city. There's a lot more that I could spend the next 2 hours talking about, but that's another one where we've tried to embed sustainability and climate action as a value throughout the city, and staff that work accordingly so that we can continue it on even if we set different goals. And finally, improving park systems and services has been a goal for the last 2 years. We have 3 neighborhood parks. One is open right across the street, Scott Park, and then 2 others, Bowman Bray and Balfour, that are almost complete, that have just been beautiful, improved assets in our community. And we've continued to take strides to try to improve our relationship and understand and understand where we want to go with our relationship with the North Clackamas Parks and Recreation District. So some policy and governance work in that goal as well. I talked a little bit about how some of these goals have now become embedded as values. These 5 words you see here in yellow are what we call our Team Milwaukie values. They are explanations of how we as staff, your public servants, want to ensure we are advancing any work we do, whether it's something in the public works realm, the library realm, community development, what have you. We want to be thinking about these values and asking these questions. We want to be considering equity, who's going to benefit, who will be burdened, who's going to be involved and have a seat at the table. We want to think about accountability. We want to think about how we're going to track and report our progress and how you can hold us accountable to doing what we say is a priority. Accountability also speaks to and overlaps with our climate goals and our climate commitments. How does this goal prepare us to be adaptable to climate change and continue to reduce carbon emissions? Efficiency is another value that we have. Efficiency, I think you can think about in the climate space. You know, how are we doing things efficiently that aren't just going to increase pollution and carbon emissions, but also how are we resourcing the goal? Is it a good return on investment? We really want to be making the best use of every taxpayer dollar that we are entrusted with. Accessibility, we really want to make government as accessible and transparent as possible. So how will the work that we undertake in any of these goals make it easier for people to get involved? And how will we make sure folks can easily access information about the work that we're doing? And finally, collaboration. The best part of Milwaukie is its community and the robust collaboration and community participation we have with government in our city. So how in any of the goals council adopts, are we gonna keep our promise to you in that regard and keep you involved and informed through this work? Okay, so that's why goals, what goals, that thing. I'm going to transition us now to talking about what the 10 ideas are that City Council has come up with so far. This is going to be the meat of what we discussed tonight. These are in no particular order, too. They're actually in the order of the stations, but please don't read into anything in the order on the slide. The first idea Council's considering is promoting economic development across the city. The second is achieving governmental financial stability to maintain our service levels. Third is improve transportation safety on city streets. 4 is develop strategies for proactive land annexation. 5 is enhance the city's affordability. 6 is collaborate with regional partners to help Milwaukeeans who are most in need. Next is create a robust park system for all. Help secure funding for removal of Kellogg Dam and the restoration of the Kellogg Creek floodplain. Improve community preparedness for emergencies. And finally, make the city's water infrastructure more resilient. So each of these are big topics, and there's probably a lot on your mind, a lot of questions you have. That's what the whole goal of tonight is to give you a chance to go around, ponder these goals, consider if they're a priority for you, and really ask yourself the question, if council were to adopt this as a goal for the next 3 years, what would you like to see us accomplish? These are lovely statements, but what does action look like? What does success look like in these areas for you? So this is how we're gonna do that. We have stations set up around this room and out in the lobby. I'll show you a map in a second, but we also tried to put signs up to help you find your way. You'll get to visit those stations and chat with either a council member or a staff director who's there to hear you out, to answer questions, and to share some ideas about these goals. That question I asked you of what would success look like, what would you like to see the city accomplish, that's your part. You get to take sticky notes and write your ideas and put them up on our walls. Staff and council will show you where to put those different ideas. And then really important, please don't sneak out the back. If you go out the way you came in through our main floor lobby, at the end, we're gonna give you 3 sticky dots. And we're gonna say, given what you've talked about tonight and given how you feel as a Milwaukie community member, if you had to pick 3 goals, what 3 goals would you pick from this list? You'll also have a chance to say, actually, there's a goal I don't see anywhere here. I'd like to give that idea and another place to put a sticky note up with that. And finally, this is really important. We have a small but mighty group here tonight, and I really appreciate you being out here, but please spread the word. There's an online survey right now on Engage Milwaukie that very much mirrors our process tonight, just without the added fun of being able to talk to awesome city councilors and staff. But please share that with your networks. We've got, I think, about 150 folks who have taken that so far. I'd love to get that up even higher, and we're collecting input through January 12th. This is the map. So just again to recap, economic development, financial stability, transportation safety, annexation, and then out in the lobby, affordability, helping Milwaukeeans most in need, parks, Kellogg Dam, and emergency preparedness and water infrastructure. You can visit all of them and choose your own adventure in whatever order you'd like. If there's something you're not interested in, you can skip it. Tonight is all about what you want. And again, please don't forget to go by that last station in the first floor lobby. That's a really important stop to tell us what your priorities are. What are we going to do after this? As I said, the survey is open until January 12th. Then I'm locking council in a room for 2 days with me. Lucky them. From January 31st to February 1st, we're going to be having a retreat where we look at all the input we got, as well as other supporting data, data from our last community survey and other public engagement we've done over the last couple years. Looking at all of that, and I'll be helping them select those up to 3 goals. I'm not letting them out of that room until they've picked those goals and they've articulated what those actions are they want to see accomplished over that 3-year time and how they want to measure success. I think that's going to be a really important part to making sure we just can hit the ground running when they adopt these by resolution in February. And then we are going to continue doing quarterly discussions and updates at council. We're also thinking of ways we can make that even more accessible, easier to tell the story through the pilot, through other mechanisms about how we're moving this work forward. I am going to stop there and see if anyone has questions before I let you loose. Rod.
And the consensus of the 11th one should be placed upon your list. Is this something that can be discussed about by the city council in these closed meetings?
Absolutely. I can repeat since we're on air and they can't hear you unless you're talking into the mic, I'll repeat Rod's question. So Rod said there's 10 ideas we presented tonight. If there's an 11th one that you'd want council to consider, how do we add that in? Great question, Rod. At the final station tonight, which is down in the lobby, there's a board that says, is there anything we haven't considered yet? Please put it on there. And for you or your friends who take the survey online, we have the same question online. What did we miss? Is there something we missed that you want council to consider? And we'll bring all of that into the retreat as well.
Thank you.
Great question. Anyone else have a question? Okay, so again, I'll flash up the map really fast. Most important, we have so many cookies. So please eat a cookie, eat a sandwich, grab a drink, and then enjoy walking around and talking to your city council members and your directors. And thank you so much.
The economic development, I guess.
That's you. Okay.